Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi there.
And welcome to Meet at the Hotel Bar. We are Huss, JC, and
Freddie.
from the band Flawes, three-piece indie pop band from London via Huddersfield.
So, since we started touring with Flawes, travelling the world, and during our previous lives as session musicians, we realised that there's so many funny things that happen on and off stage, and so many stories that never get shared with the rest of the world. They just stay in the dressing rooms and tour buses of the bands and artists you love.
Until now. In this podcast, we're lifting the lid on life on the road. And where better to meet up and tell those touring tales than a place every touring musician knows well, the trusty hotel bar.
In today's episode, we met up with the infectiously fun and self-proclaimed jack of all trades, Natti from Fickle Friends. A personal favourite, Fickle Friends continue to release banger after banger and have toured all over since forming in 2013.
So fun fact, Natti is actually the first guest that Flawes have an official release with. If you didn't know, Fickle Friends did a remix of our song Here to Stay a couple of years back.
In today's episode, you'll hear nightmare stories on stage in Bingley, Natti's guide to securing work with Harry Styles, and an array of off-topic tangents, seemingly beginning with the letter C. Caves, car insurance, curries, cats, and coffee.
This is Natti from Fickle Friends coming up on Meet at the Hotel Bar.
We did tell you this is like a traffic-themed podcast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm starting to realise that maybe that is the reality.
So,
right now.
so who is your insurance provider then?
Question one is always...
So let's
So boring.
let's start the podcast then.
Start the podcast.
Oh, excuse
That's
me.
basically
Nice.
that's the signal, the start of the podcast. Well, first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
First question is always, what would you like to drink?
I would love a lager top. Just
Lager
simple.
top. That's not a bad shout, you know.
That's a rock solid order.
Okay,
It is, isn't it?
So we're going to get the same as you. We're going to get 4
Brilliant.
lager tops.
4 lager tops, please.
I love that. I thought I'd be drinking alone. Got a bit scared.
Awesome.
Right.
And the photo as well.
That is an elite drink.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
a holiday drink for me.
How is the 0% with the
It
lemonade?
tastes pretty legit, to be honest.
Is it?
Yeah.
0% Heinz. When I wasn't drinking, that's how I survived.
Oh, really? Did you have a long break, or was it?
3 months.
Oh, nice.
It's not very long.
I just went to drink my microphone then. It's all right, no one saw.
Tasty.
This drink order is absolutely perfect for my head right now.
Is it sorting you out?
I am quite hungover. I was in Manchester yesterday.
Yeah, I did. You know
It's
what?
so
I
good.
wasn't going to say that you influenced this, but this
You
is
did.
this is it's the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday.
It's-
Am I allowed to say what day it is?
Yeah, you can.
Tuesday.
All right, it's
You
a
can
Tuesday.
date if you want.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of the day. Like, what drink is appropriate right now if you're not going to be sat outside having a rosé on like a rooftop? You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true. An Amstel lager top.
Yeah.
Today, though, is officially the first day in, I'm going to say weeks, that I put a jacket on when I left the house. It was a little bit nippy.
Congratulations.
A bit nippy.
Yesterday was the same for me.
Bit nippy
I
out.
did the same thing.
I've not had that day. I'm on the fence still. I've got a jacket in my bag, but
See,
it's,
but
it's not been adorned.
Yeah,
But
I've
Previously, would you have even had the jacket in your bag? You wouldn't, because
No,
it's been
exactly.
too hot, right?
Today is that day.
I haven't gone there yet. Just shirts, straight shirts.
Yeah.
But I have
Okay,
been
yeah.
deeply fantasizing about autumn and like
And
woolly hats
layers.
and scarves and layers. Oh my god, layers!
Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Nice.
My wardrobe is literally looking at me every day like, is today the day? And I'm like, no.
Anyway,
no.
moving on. So, as you know, this podcast is all about touring and tour stories and being on the road, playing shows. The first question, you guys have you've toured everywhere. What is your favourite city in the world to play?
Oh, that's a good question. Favorite city in the world? I think the most memorable, big moment was probably New York.
Sick.
Because when you go and play there, you just expect it to be a bit crap and no one knows who you are. And we sold out the Bowery Ballroom, and it was
sick.
it's not a massive venue, but it's iconic. And
Yeah.
I was just completely.
Had you been to
flawed.
New York before then?
Yeah, we played Rough Trade on our first time out there, and it was it was fun, and it was cool, but it was dipping the toe in the water. So yeah, that was, and just the crowd were amazing.
Yeah.
And we'd had the best few days there. So yeah.
Sick. We're yet to play the States. We've been there to record, but we've never played shows there. But you've done like tours and stuff
Yeah.
everywhere.
But the thing is no, like it's so far away. So when people actually turn up to your shows, I'm not saying that when people come to a show in Leicester, I'm not like absolutely keeling over with joy, because I am.
The distance.
But
I
it's
get
so
that.
far away. You know, just like when you're like hearing about people playing your music in Japan, you're like, how is this happening?
Yeah.
It's the when people buy tickets and they're there, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I can't fathom this. So yeah, the States is a wild trip, and also just the travelling in between, albeit bleak, is also quite fun.
Yeah. Were you on a bus or you?
we were
you
just
hotel
like in a massive splitter van.
Okay.
Yeah.
Road
So
trip.
long drives,
Yeah.
yeah. Being vegan on the road in America is just,
How is that?
it's like you eat some Chester's chicken chips, like just the chips, and they're normally stale from like a gas station, and those like enormous coffees, because they have like,
Yeah.
it's like 50 different types of coffee, all like riddled with sugar. So I was like surviving off of that, and then this is going to sound bougie and awful, but like pulling into an actual city and then like darting towards the Whole Foods.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The perfectly arranged veg section.
It was, yeah, and
And
at points
fruit.
we just had like boxes of like fruit, which it wasn't a good idea,
In the
just like
heat.
stacked around the van. Yeah, it was pretty disgusting.
It's definitely hard on tour, isn't it, to maintain
healthy.
any level of health. Like I
Yeah.
find Germany's quite tough as well. Every
Yeah.
service is like very
Preet.
meat based. It's like sausages or nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, how do you find being in said bus with a group of guys and being the only woman there? Is that a thing or?
It has been a thing, but in the last few years, I managed to drag my best friend along with me, who hilariously, she's got like this crazy job. She's a neurophysiologist, like really
Whoa.
important job. And I'm like, we're
that-
going on tour for 3 weeks. And she's like booking it off, and it's basically her holiday. And like she helps drive, she's like there for me. She like does the merch, like all of this crazy stuff.
How sick.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So
true
she's like
dedication.
made it. It is true dedication. I
Evening
don't
out
know
the
why she does
ratios.
it, but I'm like great. But before that, it was just me and the guys. I've never really thought about it being any different because it's the way it's always been. But
Yeah.
like I started the band, I'm the boss. Do you know what I mean? I'm not the boss, but I feel like I'm the boss.
There's a quote right there.
Quote of the day. So, obviously, with touring, you do a lot of travelling. You have a lot of travel days and days off. Do you have a particular best day off ever that comes to mind, or best thing that you've done on a day off? Could be a abnormal activity, visited somewhere a bit obscure.
This isn't the best one. It's probably the worst one.
Oh, it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Let's work backwards.
We were on tour with St. Raymond back in the day. I say
Legend.
back in the day. It's 2015. Playing Rock City in Nottingham, and the day after was a day off, and it was also my birthday. So we're like, what can we do for your birthday in Nottingham? And I was like, people have like talked about like the caves in Nottingham, like all this
The
history.
caves?
There's caves.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. So I basically asked the crowd, I was like, what should I do? And they're like, go to the Nottingham Caves. I was like, all right, cool. So I dragged the guys with me. And I thought I was just expecting like a big like hole in like a cliff. And it was like at the bottom of a shopping centre.
Oh, no.
But it's wild because you go in and it's like literally underneath the city. And it's like
It's like a
basically...
natural thing, not like a man-made.
It's a man-made thing.
Oh,
like
man-made
from...
thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean... I'm going to throw out a date of like the 1700s here.
Oh, okay. One of those.
Where like
okay.
leather makers, like it was like a underground market situation.
Really?
Yeah, and then they also used it as a bomb shelter. You know, when it like takes you through the ages of
yeah.
like what it's been used
There's
for.
there's a cave that I went to once in, is it Margate? It's like
I've been there.
where you go
It's a good
down
cave.
and there's like just fuckloads of shells.
Name your 5 top
on the wall.
caves.
Yeah, that's quite.
And
creepy,
there's like
actually.
millions of
Yeah.
shells on the wall of this cave, and
That
you
sounds
like walk
like a
down,
glorious
and
cave.
it's legit, like really, really, really crazy.
And
This
they've,
was
they've
not a
no
good
idea
cave.
who did it, right?
Yeah, they've no idea of the source of like who, and you're like, how the hell did they get all these shells down here?
It's
That
quite
sounds
close
stunning.
to the beach.
Oh yeah, no, it's a stone's throw from the beach, but
still,
there's
bro.
millions of these shells there.
This sounds like a true spectacle. This was not. This is. It really wasn't. It was awful, and there was like a tour guide, and we like all had to like put on like bomb shelter hats on for a bit, like gas masks, and the boys like, "What is this? It's so horrible."
Not the best birthday. then.
Do you get claustrophobic, or you
No,
okay in
pretty
those?
good. Yeah. I found it truly memorable. I thought it was quite good, but everyone else like had a horrible time, and I was like, "Oh, it's my birthday." Then we had to drive back really hungover, and we all got a curry when we got home. Happy birthday to me.
Happy
Nice.
birthday to you.
Do you remember what your order was?
It was probably
What is your curry order?
my curry order.
Everyone's got a standard.
This is the curry round.
I don't because I'm into the sides.
Okay.
As
Being
a vegan.
As a vegan, yeah, because I'll go for whatever spicy curry or whatever it is. But I'm more into the sides, like your bindi bhaji,
Ooh,
Oh, nice. Is that chickpea?
your sagaloo. No, bindi bhaji is like okra, ladyfingers.
I
Yeah.
love those. I'm a side orderer too.
Yeah.
It's a good choice. Sagaloo.
we actually went for a curry together
Yeah.
the other day, didn't we?
Yeah. We went
Did
for a
you?
Team Thursday night banquet.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
cute.
Just the three of us, just chilling out. It was
Nice.
just really nice.
We've talked about caves, car insurers, and curries so far. Can we keep the alliteration going? What's next?
Sorry, that was such a boring answer. We went to Six Flags on one day off, which was pretty good.
What's Six Flags?
It's like the crazy theme, like it's like a theme park in America.
Oh, okay.
It's like Thorpe Park on acid. I've never been on an actual like roller coaster and thought I was going to die, and I did
Until
that
you
day.
went to.
Yeah.
And whereabouts is that in America?
In California. You know, when you like just drive out the city a little
Okay,
bit
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's, dry,
Yeah.
hot. Six Flags, yeah.
Sick. We'll have to check that one out.
Put that on the list. Six
Huss isn't the
Flags.
best. Huss isn't the best at.
Oh yeah. Did you say roller coasters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
hell
was
no.
Fright Night as well.
What's Fight Night?
Oh,
Fright Night.
Come
Guys,
on.
do you not
Fight
I
night.
do, I know.
Boxing.
Okay, cool.
I
Fight
live near
night.
Thorpe
What?
Park. Come on.
Oh,
Nice.
it was Fight Night at Six
Fright
Flags.
Night. Yeah.
Oh, Pride Night.
Fright Night.
Oh, Fright Night.
I'm
Right.
struggling with this.
Let's just go back. Let's rewind.
There was just basically loads of people dressed as zombies chasing you around the park.
Well, that
whilst you
just
were
sounds
also-
like making a bad day even worse for me.
I don't have any good days off, okay?
I'm
None.
not too fond of zombies, and I don't like roller coasters.
Yeah.
But I'll take you guys.
It's
Like, I'll
also
look after the jackets.
Yeah, Huss is the kind of guy that me and Fred would go on the. It's never happened, but we've toyed about it, haven't we?
Yeah, they tried to take me to one when we were in LA, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It didn't happen. We went to a bar instead.
It was-
we went to watch the ice hockey, didn't we?
Yeah, nice.
We went to watch the Dodgers.
Nice.
Did you?
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Dodger Stadium.
$15 beers. Am I right?
It was wild, and it was also because we were people complaining about how hot it was this summer, and then Jack's always just like, "Do you remember that day watching the Dodgers? It was 45 degrees and there was no shade." And I was like, "Oh yeah!" And they gave you like a free pair of like Dodgers boxers on the way in, and all of us was sat in a row.
A pair of boxers. Dodgers boxers.
Dodgers boxers.
Sick.
Dodgers boxers. Yeah. And we soaked them with water, and we all had them like around our like heads for like. And this match went on for like 8 hours. It was
Yeah,
like
they do go
chaos.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went once. We probably wouldn't go again.
See, I love it. I go. We've been quite a few times. We like.
Nice.
I'm like.
I like
watch it
basketball.
at home.
Yeah,
Oh,
we like basketball.
Fast paced.
Yeah.
Go Clippers, man.
Go-
I bought a Clippers hat.
I got a Lakers jersey
Oh, did you?
when
For
I was
real?
over there. Yeah.
That's quite a good accent,
That is
actually.
awesome.
Everybody goes super close to the mic when
I
they
love
do
that.
an American accent.
Oh my god.
We the Dodgers played our song, didn't they?
What?
Yeah. They used to play it.
Flipping heck.
I'm so sorry. Just yeah.
Every time the
Compress that.
Dodgers came from a losing position to be into a winning position, they played our song "Don't Count Me Out"
In the stadium.
In the stadium.
Like pumped it out.
Yeah.
That.
And they did like
That's like a bucket list.
Yeah.
They did it on like this promo video as well with like slow-mo baseball shots. It was wicked.
Bellinger. Yeah.
With the home run.
They didn't play any Fickle Friends songs when I was there.
Oh.
Crying shame, in my opinion.
Well,
Yeah. Do you know what the dream would be though? You know they do there's the guy with like the organ. If they did like a Fickle Friends version on the organ, that's
That
like
would be good.
the dream. That's
Yeah.
like
That's your
ultimate.
dream.
Yeah, to see a
See your
Fickle
dream.
Friends. Yeah.
dream big man.
No, but that would be cool though, because they always play like, you know, like current-
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we move on. It's quite
It's
noisy
really
outside.
rumbly here.
yeah, I think
Oh,
we're
yeah.
underneath a train track.
Yep. Shoreditch High Street,
We are
the
under
overground,
the underground.
the Ginger Line.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I went on the,
Under the caves.
Elizabeth line for the first time today.
Oh, Lizzie.
How
She's
was it?
sexy, isn't
I've never
she?
been on her. She's great.
I beg your pardon.
What?
Being on her.
Yeah.
Can't say that about the Queen.
I rode her a few times.
Was it a smooth ride?
It's beautiful. So clean. I feel like the seats seemed a little bit smaller than usual. Either that or there's a pole
Or you've put on weight.
Budget cuts.
with my jacket.
Yeah, maybe
that's
it's
what
the
it is,
layers.
it's the
Now
jacket.
you're layering up. That might be why.
Yeah. No, it is good. You said you haven't been on it yet.
I've not been on.
No.
No.
She's
neither.
gorge. You should
Is it
give her a try.
Is it pink?
No.
Purple.
It's like
Purple.
a lovely lilac
Turquoise.
kind of like colour.
Like Freddie's mic?
Yeah.
A bit lighter, maybe. A bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, pastel.
So we all remember the very first tour that we went on and the excitement and the nervousness and intrigue, because you've obviously grown up seeing bands and stuff. What are your memories from the first ever tour that you ever did? Can you take us back to that moment? Where was it?
Yeah, I do remember. It was with Jaws. We were nothing. We'd like put out Swim, and everyone was like super crazy about us, and then they realised that we were crap. And then we just were doing loads of shows. But we did I remember we did Dot to Dot Festival, and the last night was in Nottingham. I'm like,
With the caves, yeah.
With the caves, yeah. Different time actually. Always in Nottingham. Anyway, we were like really wanting to pitch to get on a tour, and our booking agent was like, Jaws are doing this sick tour, like maybe just like message them or speak to them or find them. And so we like found them, and we at this point we were touring in like a Ford Galaxy with like a roof box.
Hell yeah.
And all of our merch was in like bin bags and the roof box with the keyboard stand. It was like I don't know how we were doing it. But we were parked just outside where Rock City was, and Jaws, the guys were walking past the car, and they were like celebrities to us at the time. And we screamed, and like we pulled down the windows of the car, and we like pulled them, like we were like pulling them into the car. Everyone was drunk, and then I feel like that was like such a bonding moment that they were like, "You can come and do the tour."
Because of that experience? Or did you know them before?
No, we didn't really know them.
Okay.
Just from like round about. But after that, we did the tour, and it was like our first actual tour that we ever did. I got my first tattoo.
There we go.
That's cool.
Manchester. It was, and like all of their fans were like crazy people. You know, when you're standing at the merch stand at the end, like giving out free crap
Yeah.
and everything. It was just the most epic tour ever. And like to me, all the venues were just like so enormous. And then I look at them now, I'm just like, they're not that big, but they were just like huge places for us. It was a good tour. Sleeping on people, we just like put out a message because we had no money. We were like making not even 50 quid a show. Most shows were free, I think. So we were just like staying on like random people's floors.
Yeah.
Some guy who I always remember called Kalani in Manchester. We just like stayed on his like student house floor, and like in the morning he like made us like eggs and breakfast and stuff, and we just like left.
Shout out
Just a
Kalani.
random guy. Shout out Kalani. Yeah, and this was just happening the whole tour. We had no choice, just had to make it work.
Yeah.
They're some of the best memories as well.
Sleeping in the car a
Yeah.
lot of the time as well.
So parking outside venues and drunkenly hijacking bands works for getting on
It
people's
does.
tours.
Listen to me
So
now.
people listen to this that want to get on a tour. Basically,
try this
You
tactic.
just need to stalk.
If you want to tour with Harry Styles,
Get a Ford Galaxy.
Yeah.
get Ford Galaxy, park
First of
it
all,
outside
roof
Wembley, and just try and yank him in through the passenger window. And there you go. Bob's your uncle.
So fast forward to now, you've had a whole lot of experience touring. Are there any tips or hacks that you've discovered that you would impart to someone else getting into the game of music?
Tips or hacks?
Yeah.
People trying to get into the game of touring.
The game of music. Yeah, I
The
guess
game
just
of
like
music.
yeah, are there things
Oh.
that you could like things to make your life a bit easier, or like taking fruit on the road, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, we at one point we did have like a whole separate suitcase that had like a stove in it. It was mainly for Jack because he wanted to like cook bacon in the morning. Whoever was sharing like a travel lodge with him was just screwed because it would just smell of bacon. Disgusting. Wouldn't recommend that. However, I would recommend we now have a suitcase which is just dedicated to coffee because everyone's like, we're at that age where we become coffee snobs. And we take the V60s and the AeroPress and everything, and it's just
Nice.
And I take a NutriBullet,
That is a smart move.
That's great.
I was talking
know.
to a friend the other day who has a dedicated flight case for coffee.
Yeah,
And
everyone does.
We have to do this, guys, because we're all coffee nerds.
I'm more decaf.
We do coffee club.
We can have a separate decaf bean selection
Yeah.
for you. It's
You
fine.
can still be part of coffee club
I
if
can-
you
I
don't
can,
still
yeah.
have
Still
caffeine.
do.
But we
Yeah.
do coffee club in the travel lodge in the morning,
That's nice.
which is lovely.
Do you all meet up in this
in one room,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
There's like a message that goes around on the touring group, and it's just like coffee club.
That's
We all
cool.
go
cool.
in.
So
You can't
you
really go
guys-
to the canteen and like have better coffee than the travel lodge.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you've got to keep it private. Keep it in the rooms.
Yeah. And mostly they're not the ones which do the nice breakfast in the travel lodge. They're the ones that give you like a box of cereal.
Oh no.
So you guys get along well by the sounds of it.
Yeah,
Excellent,
yeah.
yeah.
It is. It's very nice.
That's cool.
It's very lovely. I think that's the point also. Find crew that you like.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
It's I
They
would
are
say.
your family and best friends, and yeah, for the whole time you're on the road,
Yeah.
got to keep them close. So there are quite a number of people in Fickle Friends. So you guys must have quite an extensive rider. So we were wondering, what is the most diva-ish item on your rider as a band, past or present?
This is people always ask me this, and like we're not divas at all. Like the only thing we ever put on there is cigarettes.
Oh really?
Vapes.
Well, now it would be vapes.
Yeah.
No, we've just had cigarettes on there, which is not nice or good. This is such.
Do you specify a
I'm like
brand?
looking at you all like you're just so disappointed. I'm like, oh my god, literally all there is like vegan cheese and like Violife and.
Hey, that's
Oat
good.
milk.
That's good stuff.
Um,
Oat milk. It would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Normally it's just like always a bottle of Jameson's.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my pre-show drink. I'm allowed 2 swigs.
Warms up the vocal cords.
That's the maximum.
Yeah.
So you just used to get too drunk and get on stage and think that it was a brilliant show, and it was atrocious.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've had on your rider?
The craziest thing, I don't know if we are that crazy. We're pretty tame.
We are pretty boring.
We do have a
Um,
bottle of whiskey.
Always
Yeah.
whiskey. Always need whiskey.
Yeah.
Um,
Hummus. It's hummus, pitta, and
it's pretty standard, actually.
It is.
Nature
that's why we
Everyone
asked.
does hummus and pitta. Or it's
Yeah.
like chewing gum, Oreos.
Yeah, we basically just asked this
meats
question
and
because
cheeses.
we don't even include this in the podcast. We just want inspiration from people.
Yeah,
so
we
that
need
can
to up our
improve
rider
our
game.
rider.
Oh, nice. I feel like
our rider sucks. We need advice.
my rider sucks too. Really crap.
Well, why don't we think of something that we can both put on both our riders next time we're on the road?
Socks.
What? Socks is a great shout.
Socks and pants. At one point,
Socks
actually,
and
when we
pants.
were doing like long tours, like, and it's bleak, sorry boys, but like they would just like be constantly buying like Lonzies, as in like those like Lonsdale like boxes to get them through the tour because they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
want to like splash out on nice ones. So everyone was just like, should we go get some more Lonzies? And you're like, yeah. So maybe you should put boxes on the.
Yeah, underwear and socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, fresh socks feel good, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, what is the worst thing that has ever happened on stage? Like the craziest moment?
There's a man with a cat on his back.
Oh yeah, he's everywhere.
Oh,
He's
really?
always- he's
Is he a
always
local?
kicking about. He's a local. Yeah, local guy.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Normally
Jason.
hanging out on Brick Lane.
You don't usually see a cat riding a human.
He's got great balance, hasn't he? That
Yeah, he
cat.
does.
That cat is just
It's quite-
attached to him. It's just so chill.
It's
Just
quite
sits
a
on the
big
street.
cat, isn't it?
Mm.
It's a tiger.
It'd be quite heavy to
Yeah.
weigh down on your neck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to carry my cat around all day like that.
No.
Have you got a cat? What's
Got
that?
3.
You've got 3
Oh,
cats.
good. You definitely can't carry all 3 around.
This is the. We're on the seas, aren't we? It's
We are.
Coffee
Yeah,
and then
nice.
no
Cats,
cats.
cave.
This is the wholesome
curry.
episode where no one here is a rock star. And I have 3 cats.
CCJs.
CCJs. Traffic. Sorry, what?
What are your cats called?
That's what we care about.
Susan,
Oh.
Norman,
Oh,
and Otis.
It's very wholesome names.
Yeah,
that is nice.
I
And
know. It's just be wholesome.
You did have a question before I interrupted
Yeah.
you, sorry.
Worst thing that's happened on stage. Hit me.
Okay. But there's always bad stuff that happens, like stuff goes wrong.
Yeah. Is there a particular
Actually, do you know
memory?
what? There is one specifically. Like, I've had like men throwing things at me on stage. I've had like panic attacks on stage. But the one time where it was like more of like an equipment failure situation, which was devastating. It was like I was crying with laughter. It was so bad. We were playing Bingley live.
Oh yeah, Bingley.
Yep, Bingley.
Oh, yeah.
Good old West Yorkshire.
Big up Bingley.
We were just before the headliner Pigeon Detectives, I believe. And the festival was like it was like full of people. There was like thousands of people. It was like wild. We were so excited because we're like, oh, Bingley, never been to Bingley. Anyway, went on stage, did the count-in. The whole intro started, like super excited. The count-in came in. We like walked on stage. Trish went to like hit the first note, and then like the whole stage power, like everything went down. And it was like very underwhelming. And like we carried on playing for a moment and then obviously realised, and we're like, oh crap. And they're like, you're going to have to come off. We're going to have to fix it. Like the whole power for the whole festival's gone. And we were like, oh my God, okay, fine. So walked off stage, waiting for a little bit. Some woman went to fetch us some cigarettes, obviously, stress.
She missed them off the rider.
Missed them off the rider. And then like 15 minutes go by and they're like, right guys, we're ready for you to go back on. We're like, sick, cool,
Please tell me
cool.
it didn't happen again.
So anyway, we went on stage. The intro starts like, yep, here we are. We can see the crowd is ready. Trish hits the first note. We're getting through. We get to the verse. I'm like, this is sick. Everyone is loving it. We're about to hit into the chorus. All the power goes down.
Oh, no.
For the whole stage. This time we did stop. And I just was like, what is happening? They're like, you've got to go off. You've got to come off again. And we were like,
Quick ciggy, yeah.
Did you know
We're
like,
like-
waving a pack of cigarettes?
yeah,
know?
like just looking.
Were you on ears?
We were
Like,
on
could you
ears,
still-
yeah.
Did you think it was still going on, or could you tell?
No, well, like Sam, our drummer, like knew.
Okay.
Because I think his ears are just a bit
Yeah.
quieter. For whatever reason, I don't know. I think it's because like there were side fills that went off too. Anyway, and we were expecting it, to be honest. So yeah, this happened. We went back off again. This time, I reckon there was like half an hour in between. Just waiting. We're like, we're not going to go on. And we're like, should we call it? And like, whilst this was all happening, Jack had like got like a really bad toothache, like really bad. And like there was like a discussion of like having to rush him to like an emergency dentist or something.
Oh,
It was quite bad. Anyway, they were like, you can go on. They've actually fixed it. And we were like, have they?
yeah.
And I was like, what have you found out what caused the issue? And they're like, oh, it was one of the fridges that one of the vendors like tripped the switch for the whole festival. I was like, that sounds like a
doesn't sound
lie.
legit.
That doesn't sound legit. And I was like, oh, I just want to play. So we're like, right, let's skip the first song. We'll go straight into the second song. Just hit the ground running. Went on stage. Some tepid applause at this point. Started the second song. We're playing. We actually get through this song. We're almost nearing the end of the song. And all the power goes again. And that was it. We were like, no. They were like, you can go on again. We're like, no. Like, if it doesn't work for the third time, like, it's just not it. And I'm like, never one to walk away from a show, but I was like, I can't. It's just too embarrassing. We had to walk off and then had to try and get Jack to an emergency dentist. But we were like literally driving on like a bus to the Czech Republic that night. That's a separate story. But
Good.
it
Did
was
the Pigeon
very
Detectives
stressful.
go on? Or did
Yeah,
they-
yeah. Apparently everything was fine for them.
Sod's law.
3 times.
I know.
And
3 times.
is Jack's tooth okay now?
Is it okay?
Yeah, he's had some issues in the past where we've been like trapped on like a sleeper bus, and like, you know, when like tooth like issues get bad to the point where it feels like your brain's going to explode. Like I could just hear him screaming and like bashing like his like bed in the bus. It was bad. It was so
dear.
bad. And he had to like play. We had like 4 festivals that weekend, like all around Europe, and then we came back for Barn on the Farm, and he like had to go on stage, and his face was like the size of a football.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, isn't it?
That
You
must
get a
be
bad
awful.
tooth.
Oh yeah, you had bad toothache in LA one time, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been there. I can sympathise.
You just
I've had
can't get
earache.
ill when you're on that
It always
sort of
happens to me for
vibe.
some reason. I'm like never ill until we go to America. Then the whole trip I'm out. In terms of your fans, what is the craziest or coolest thing that you've ever received from one of them? If that makes sense.
There's 2. So the loveliest thing I've ever received was a courage key.
A courage key.
It was like a key on a necklace. It was like given to me by a girl in America. I was just having a bad time with my mental health, being very vocal about it, as all of us artists are. And they were like, this key is like helped me through a really dark time. I'm going to give it on to you, because the whole point of these keys is that you play it on, you give it to someone else who needs it. And so I had it for like the 3 weeks of touring, and I thought it was amazing. And then I met someone at the end of the tour in Boston. Was it Boston? Oh no, San Francisco, who like told me this like crazy story about their life, like really like honestly insane. And I was like, I need to give you this key.
Yeah.
And I got the tattoo of the key.
Oh, really?
Because I passed it on.
Nice.
That was lovely. This is a lovely one. But the craziest is probably when we went to Korea, because it was like a shower of gifts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you get? Hit us with the
Like
best and the
baseball
worst.
hats with our names in Korean. Someone made us like a vegan gluten-free cake with like a Fickle Friends like flag like embossed on it. Someone made like a South Korea flag with like the Fickle Friends logo in it. Like it was like honestly like fluffy, like little fluffy toys. It was just like showers of the gifts.
That's
And
mad.
you obviously have all of these gifts.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you fill up the Ford Galaxy? filled up the roof rack?
Yeah, we took the Ford Galaxy all the way to South Korea that weekend.
But surely that's another suitcase just full.
Yeah. I mean, it was a whirlwind. It was like fly to Bangkok, play a festival in Bangkok, leave that night, go straight to South Korea having not slept, play the show, go out with the guy who booked the show, which was crazy, and then fly home.
Wow.
So it was more of a kind of, I don't think we even had luggage. I think we had literally like carry on. Because it was all of our like gear, which was in the hold, yeah.
Yeah. That's mad.
That's crazy. We need to go to Korea.
We do need to go to Korea.
Seoul is the vibe.
I want a hat with my name embossed on it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's my favourite. It's pink.
Or a
It's got my
flag.
name. It could not be my name, to be fair. I haven't like checked this. It could say like
I could say
I was about
anything.
to say something very rude, but I won't.
I can beep it out, don't worry. So on to my personal favourite section of the podcast. Now, for a vegan, this might be hard to hear, but this is the beef section.
Oh yeah.
If you have had or you want to air any beef that you may or may not have had with artists, feel free to say anyone's name.
Twitter beef.
Bit of beef.
Instagram beef.
There was only one time there's ever been Twitter beef or
Oh,
like
really?
touring beef.
Hit us with the beef.
Oh, we're in.
All right.
I'm
Well,
all
it
ears.
was on the Jaws tour back in the day when we're like 19 maybe, and there was another band called Milk Teeth who were opening. I'm bad at trashing people saying nasty things. I can't do it. But basically, it was maybe like the fourth night. I thought everything was cool. They just were giving us a bit of like cold attitude. And I was like, that's fair enough. Like, we're main support. I get it.
Were they the headline?
No, they were opening support.
Oh, sorry. Cool.
Yeah. And they were cool. The drummer was really nice, but the others were just, I don't know. Yeah, it was a weird vibe. But anyway, like, I thought it was all cool. And then I think, like, one of the guys in the bands, like, was on Twitter. And, like, they'd written something about our set or about us that was, like, quite rude and derogatory. Or it was just, like, I can't remember what it was. It was just, like, oh, we could cut the fucking, like, support, or something like that. I don't know what it was. It was basically just, like, a trash.
Yeah.
That's not
tweet.
very nice.
And I was like, come on, man. Like, someone had replied to it, and, like, it was, like, this whole thing going on, and we were like, nah.
Did you reply?
No, we didn't reply, I don't think.
And you still had dates left of the tour? So
Yeah.
you still seen them?
And at this point, it was like,
Whoa.
you guys
Did you think about sabotage at
dead
all?
to me.
Yeah. Cut
I
the
did.
power.
It did. Yeah, it crossed my fucking
3
mind.
times.
Yeah.
It crossed my 3 times.
They were at Bingley.
It crossed my
Dodgy fridge
mind.
again.
I was just like, come on, like, we're nice. Everyone's so
There's
nice.
no need for it.
There's no need for it. But maybe it's a part of being rock and roll, and maybe that's why I'm not rock and roll. I don't know. That's that was some beef.
Okay, we've reached the quickfire round. So basically, the quickfire round is really simple. It's when we say a word, it's the first thing that comes to your head when we've said that word. So if we were to say, for example, dogs, you were to say cats, and you can either say just a one-word answer, or you can give a full answer and explain your reasons why. Or you can literally just say one word and then leave it like that. Leave it
It's
open.
totally up to you.
It's totally up to you.
I feel powerful.
So when we say lipper, you say
Scouser.
okay.
Good impression
Nice.
as well.
Cheers. Lived there for a fucking year.
Did you, mate?
Ate crunchy fried chicken once.
Crunchy fried
And
chicken.
went back to being vegan again.
Yeah.
That's actually quite good.
I was also going to say wombats, weirdly, but carry on.
Yeah. The wombats, yeah.
The wombats.
I don't know
Also-
what this one is, so I'm going to give it a go. When we say doodler,
Scribbles. Doodler.
yeah.
It's because I make animations and things
Oh.
in it. I don't know.
You literally messaged in the group this morning.
I didn't know it was called
Did you
that.
put
I
this
thought it was
one?
something else.
Doodler. Oh my god, do you think it was something cool? It's not.
No, you said this morning.
All right, I'm going to
Look
find
in
out
the
what
look in
I'm
the
thinking of.
WhatsApp chat this morning.
Yeah, Freddie, even I'm surprised.
Is there like a different meaning of this word that I'm unaware
no, it's
of?
exactly the meaning which you just described.
Okay.
It's,
Oh,
us-
sorry. You know
tell
what?
us-
You know I'm confused. I thought it was Eddie or Edie edamame.
Yeah,
that's
Eddie
what I was
edamame.
expecting it to be. I didn't
Oh,
see
okay.
the doodler bit.
Fred's
Sorry,
lost the plot.
I've lost the plot.
Do you want to do that
Do
one
you wanna
again,
try
Fred?
again?
My
Let's
head.
go again. I can
Right,
edit
so
it out. Don't
when we
worry.
say doodler,
Eddie edamame.
love it.
What's Eddie edamame?
It's just like a lockdown hobby of mine turned semi-career, I suppose.
That's wicked.
I got really bad COVID. Obviously, all the tours were cancelled, and I was like, "What are we doing? What am I doing?" And I just put on Instagram. I've always drawn little silly drawings. And I just put on Instagram that I do, like pay what you feel commissions. And I was like, I'll draw anything. I'll draw your pet. I'll draw your best friend.
That's really
I'll draw,
cool.
your emoji on some peculiar, Xbox game, which I did a few times. And I just started doing it, and it kind of snowballed. And then I started animating those drawings.
Oh,
and
sick.
then now it's kind of spiraled into I've been doing some bits for Sigrid's live visuals. For
Sick.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
We need to collab.
Should we
some point.
collab?
Yes.
Oh, I did those with the girl I think you're working with on your
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, wicked.
Let's
Yeah.
make some live visuals.
Let's get visual.
Let's get visual.
I want to see the Sigrid stuff.
I can show you in a bit.
Okay, deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Next one. When we say downward, you say
Spiral.
wasn't expecting it to go that direction, but that was good.
It's like I'm feeling very. No, I'm not feeling negative today. Sorry. Do you want to I can repeat that? Dog.
Yay, there we go. That's the one I was
Just
looking
give
for.
them what they want, Natty.
Yeah, come
Come on. Don't be obscure right now.
Downward dog, obviously
Correct.
reference to yoga. Yeah, it's 10 points.
10 points.
And moving on.
Smashed it.
Okay, question 4. When we say Polydor Records, you say...
Ugh.
Okay.
Is that a word?
That
No.
can be
Is that a word?
it can be an answer. Yeah.
What about dollar bills?
Okay. And when we say
Battering money.
when we say cooking vinyl, you say
All right. These are not good, are they?
These are good.
Are they?
It's the beauty is the initial reaction. That's what
Yeah.
I feel like this should be a visual round.
Yeah.
The visual
It should
that
be
a
a
few
visual
times.
round.
added visuals
If we
because
get
it's the
some,
reactions.
If we get
that-
some bloody sponsors, then we can afford
know.
video cameras, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
we'll have
Get
visuals.
some few iPhones up, I reckon.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It would. If you say record label names to me, it's always the same response for any of them because I'm never happy. I'm just like, I'm a lone wolf.
right.
Mm.
Okay.
What
Okay,
would you
well-
say when I say Red Bull Records?
We say
Loyal.
Loyal. Yeah.
Oh,
we love
I
them.
would I'd be screaming to say loyal. I'm
Yeah.
like striving for loyal.
Yeah.
Loyalty's
Nice.
good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, when we
Yeah.
say Lost Mary, what do you say?
Vape, baby.
Love it.
Vape. True love.
What's that? Oh, is that your...
Can't vape inside, but I'm going to. Sometimes
cleared it
I'm
with
so bad
management,
that I
it's fine.
vape into my jumper.
And just for the listeners, there is now a vape into the... now a
Steaming
dragon.
shirt.
I can't believe the vape's
Natty, are
made
you
it
really
in.
warm? You're literally steaming.
Yeah, it's just my natural effervescence.
And the final quickfire round, when we say Natty Shiner, you say
She's out.
she's out. That's good. Would you like to expand?
I was actually going to say jack of all trades. That's more than one word, but that's
That's okay.
yeah. Just doing loads of stuff, fingers in many pies.
I think
mate.
that's a good way to be. Keeps
Yeah.
the brain occupied.
It does, but it also makes you feel incredibly overwhelmed, like downward spiral. That's on the brain today. I'm like,
That's why you need the downward dog. Am I right?
I
Yeah.
know you need the downward dog for the downward spiral.
Just flip that spiral upside down.
Yeah,
There's
but keeps life interesting.
There's a
doesn't
quote.
it?
There it is. You can have that one.
All for free.
Hey.
There we go. Brilliant. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we round things up?
Square things off.
Square things off. No, if anyone needs a doodler, if anyone wants some
Doodler. Yep.
scribbles over, music videos, artwork.
And what was the name again?
Eddie Edamame.
Eddie Edamame.
I don't know why it's that. It's a combination of Adina Monsoon, who's like my childhood idol,
Okay.
from Absolutely Fabulous, and my favourite food.
Yeah, edamame.
Have you heard that song, the edamame?
It's my song of the year. Edamame.
I've literally never heard it.
You've never heard it.
I've not.
I've not heard it.
You are
I really
missing
like edamames as well.
out. This song,
Okay.
it pops.
Well,
It
I've
pops.
just got a new set of headphones, so I'm going to listen to it on the way
Oh, I'm
back.
excited for you. I'm really excited.
It's good.
Is it literally called edamame?
Yeah. Well, great. Here's to reversing the downward spiral.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the
Cheers.
pint. Cheers.
There we go.
Cheers.
Time that well.
Still got
Time that's
some left.
perfection.
I've not. I've finished.
You sank that.
Round 2.
Someone's feeling
Let's
a
go.
little.
A huge thanks to Natti for being part of the podcast and to the Crown Hotel Bar for putting up with us. Apologies for all of the London Underground rumbles each time a train went past throughout the episode too. The joys of recording a podcast on location.
Now, we definitely couldn't do this podcast without all you wonderful people who listen. So a huge thanks to you for being part of the Flawes family.
And if you do like what you hear and you haven't already, please make sure you like, comment and subscribe. It really does make so much difference for us, especially now as we're starting out.
Join us next time for the last episode in Series 1, and quite possibly the funniest episode yet, chatting to Rhino from Status Quo, aka Freddie's dad. Expect stories about how he got his place in Status Quo, what got them in the Guinness World Records, the origin story of his nickname Rhino, and why Freddie ended up in a helicopter. Only on